Sherry, this is your grandma. I wonder if you're getting this message from me.
Huh? Grandma? You have a phone number too?
Yes, that's right. Your dad was able to get me a new phone and gave me your number for me. All the other people my age in the neighborhood said they've started texting their grandkids, and I wanted to do the same.
That's amazing, Grandma!
This way I'll be able to talk with you a lot more. But this smartphone is really amazing, and more people my age are starting to use them finally. I've started to even talk more with some of my other friends now too. I was really late to this party, wasn't I?
Everyone in my school all have smartphones and are texting each other all the time. But recently we've all started to use other apps to message as well.
Oh, is that so? I've heard of something called Instagram.
What? You know about Instagram now too?
I've started to use it on my computer, but I hear you can go on there now on your smartphone too. I think this gadget is just wonderful for people like me that love to stay updated all day.
I wish you would have gotten your phone a lot sooner.
I do too. Before I thought about getting one would be too much of a hassle for me, but now that I'm into it, I'm really loving my new phone. All of these little stickers are really cute as well.
You're talking about emojis? They're all really cool and funny.
Well, I'll start using them more from now on, once I've gotten used to the phone itself.
I can't wait!
Well, you can teach me sometime how to use them correctly. That's right. I've already heard this from your dad, but is he out of the house on a business trip?
Yes, he is. It's been quiet here now. He told me that he'll be away until the end of the month for work.
That's what it looks like to me. Well, your dad says that he's lonely without you around too.
Well, then he should hurry up and come back home.
That's right.
Can you wait 1 minute, Grandma? Ive!
Huh? What was that?
I'm sorry. Avery took my phone from me for a second there and started to type on it without knowing what to say.
I see. Well, Avery is still not carrying a phone herself, right?
She has a toy one, I guess, but she can only use it for emergencies to call Mom or Dad. It's not a smartphone like ours are.
I'm sure she really wants to use her older sister phone a lot now, right?
Well, I only just got my phone last year after I finished 5th grade in elementary school. Avery still has to wait another 4 years before she can get her phone.
Well, to her, 4 years is a very long time, I think. By the time she gets into her 5th year at school, you'll be in high school, right?
What? In high school? That's right. I only have to be in middle school for 3 years, so I will be in high school by then.
I wonder what you'll be like when you get to high school, Cherry. I can't wait for that time.
I want to become even more cute than I already am. I want to become a singer in the future, so I have to be cute all the time.
Wow. That's a really good dream to have, Sherry. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sorry, Sherry. I've been talking a long time with you this time.
It's okay, Grandma. It's Saturday now, and all I'm doing is babysitting Avery at the house.
That's so mature of you.
Also, during my birthday this year, Dad will be on a business trip again and won't be home to see me.
Next week is going to be your birthday, right? That's too bad.
It really is.
Well, is your mom home right now?
Mom is... She went out shopping?
Is that so? All right then. Well, good luck babysitting Avery for the day while your mom is out of the house.
Thank you.
The next time I talk with you, I want to try video calling one another, okay? Then I can talk with Avery as well on the phone and see the both of you together. See you again, Sherry. Hello, Tia. This is Clayton's mother, Greta. I hope these texts are getting to you.
Huh? Is this you, Greta? Did you end up finally getting yourself a smartphone?
Yes, that's right. I only just got it yesterday, though. Do you have a little time to talk with me right now?
Sure. Is there something that happened with you?
Well, this is about Sherry and Avery, actually. Right now, my son is on a business trip, correct? Well, since he's gone for a little while, I was wondering if I'd be able to take the both of them on a small trip with me somewhere.
What? Does my husband being out of the house for business have anything to do with that?
Well, yesterday when talking with Sherry, she said she has a lot of free time on her days off from school. And you know that next week there is that holiday coming up, right? Also, there is Sherry's birthday coming up as well. So myself and my husband would really like to take the two of them with us to someplace fun, where they can take a break and play around.
Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm going to have to say no thank you. There are plans for us to go out of the house for a bit on that holiday.
Oh, is that so? Well, if you're all going out, I'm sure Sherry will be happy.
I'm sorry that her and her free time made you want to try and use your time to entertain her. But you really do not have to worry about those two, since I'm always around to look after them and entertain.
That's not what I meant by that. What I said had nothing to do with me questioning whether you're looking after them or not. I just thought that since they'll have some time off coming up, my husband and I would really like to see them then.
I can see that.
Well, at the very least, if around Sherry's birthday, my husband and I could come over for a chance to see her. We can even wait for a time when my son is back in town, all right? I'd be really happy to see everyone's faces again.
Understood. Let me talk with Clayton about that then. Greta, can I mention one thing to you?
Sure, go right ahead.
I had a look at the messages you were sending to Sherry yesterday. Can you please stop talking to her for such a long period of time like that? That girl has been on her phone a whole lot recently, and I've warned her so many times now to stop looking at it all the time.
I'm so sorry about that, Tia. I only just got my smartphone, and I was really looking forward to texting my granddaughter. Next time I'll make sure to only spend a couple of minutes texting her.
That would be great, thank you. There are a lot of kids her age these days that are totally addicted to their phones. I want to make sure she's not getting herself into any trouble.
Yes, I'm aware of that. Well then, I look forward to hearing from you about plans for Cherry's birthday. And of course, if we'll be taking her out somewhere for her birthday, we'd love to take Avery as well.
All right, sounds great. I'll get in touch with my husband about it then. And then I'll have him tell you what's going on then. Grandma, are you awake right now?
What? Cherry? What are you doing awake so late in the night?
Yay! You are awake after all! I really want you to come and help me. Actually, I'm already on the way to your house.
What? You're coming to my house? Why are you coming to my house this late in the night?
Avery has a really bad fever right now and her head is burning hot. I don't know what to do to make her feel better, and she can't even walk on her own anymore. I have to carry her right now, and I'm trying to find your house, but it's too dark out and I'm lost. We're at the park right now taking a break.
The park? What park are you at, though? Is there a sign somewhere with the name of the park on it?
I can't find any sign.
How many minutes has it been since you left your house?
It's been an hour now.
Oh my goodness. Well, it takes about an hour to walk all the way to my house, so you might be close to me. All right, I'm going to call the police right now.
Wait, you can't. Do not call the police.
Why not?
If Mom finds out about this, we'll be grounded forever.
You'll be grounded forever.
Please don't tell Mom about any of this, please.
Are you sure? Where is your mom? Was she not at home with you guys?
I can't tell you.
Sherry, we can talk about your mom later on. For right now, I need to find out where you and your sister are at, okay? That's why I want to call the police and have them help me search for the two of you. That will be the most quickest way for me to find you two.
But, wait. I think I know what street your house is on.
Are you sure?
I think I know. I'm going to start carrying Avery again. We'll be at your house very soon.
Sherry, please slow down for a second. If you are lost and don't know where to go for certain, you should stay put. Are you seeing my text? Sherry? Your grandma's coming for you right now, so please do not move.
What? Greta? Why are you trying to get a hold of me at this time? Are you sleepwalking or something and that's why you called so many times?
I'm wide awake right now, actually.
Then are you just doing this to me to try and pick a fight? Greta, it's way too early in the morning for crap like this from you, all right? Everyone is asleep in my house, so we can save all this until tomorrow morning. I'm still half asleep right now and can barely even text you.
Well, I want you to become fully awake right now, because there is going to be a lot of texting going on.
Huh?
Both of your kids and I are at the hospital right now. So what did you mean when you said everyone in your house was asleep right now?
My kids are in the hospital? What are you even talking about?
I'm telling you that both Sherry and Avery are in the hospital with me right now. It seems as though you're not at your own home right now.
No, I sure am, Greta.
No, you're not. My husband went over to your house to go and see for me. He pushed the doorbell over and over again, and nobody ever came to the door. There wasn't even any movement within the house from any kids. Also, he told me that there were no cars in the driveway.
I have my car in the shop right now, so there wouldn't be any at the house. And I never heard the doorbell ringing at any point. I'm a heavy sleeper after all. Now tell me why you think my daughters would be at the hospital with you right now.
Avery had a very bad fever running, and Sherry had to carry Avery for over an hour, all the way to my house in the middle of the night. They both had to come over an hour to my house in the pitch black with nothing more than their pajamas on.
Why? Why didn't those two wake me up then if they wanted to go to your house?
Tia, you do not have to lie to me about being at your house anymore.
I'm not lying to you right now. I'm on my way to the hospital right now. Which one are they staying at?
Stop that. I don't want you anywhere near either of your daughters anymore. Sherry was very kind and told me about everything. She told me that normally, when my son is out of the house for business, you'll leave the place as well to go out. You'll leave your 6th grader in the house to babysit your 1st grader, and then sometimes not even come home until the following day.
I'm not doing anything like that. I told you that I've warned that girl many times not to go on her phone all the time. I think she's just lying to you about me now to make me seem like I'm evil or something.
Whether it's all the time or not very often, it is a fact that during all this, you were not at the house watching over them, right? We've already been to your house to check on things, so we no longer want any more of your lives.
Well, what's happened is I had an old friend of mine come into town after who knows how many years, and so I went out with them.
And is it normal for you to still be out of the house at this time of night when you have your 2 kids you need to watch? You have responsibilities.
Sherry is a 6th grader now, and she can handle herself. I trust her a lot, so I thought she could handle everything on her own.
This has nothing to do with you trusting her to care for things herself or not. I get that a 6th grader can stay home for a little bit by themselves and handle things. But you also have a 1st grader in your house as well, right? Also, I feel that you can only leave Sherry home for a couple of hours, especially when she has to watch another child. But leaving the 2 of them for the whole night to fend for themselves?
When I left the house earlier, Avery was doing just fine and didn't have a fever.
Then what happened that time Sherry tried calling you before she had to try coming to my house? Going into the night, Avery's condition seemed to worsen, and Sherry didn't know what to do. Sherry showed me that she both sent you some text and called you, but you never got back to her. That's why Sherry had to end up texting me for help, as she was on her way over with Avery. My son's not even in town right now, so there was no way to ask him for help. Did you tell Sherry to never tell her father about how you've been leaving the house all the time when he's gone?
I had no choice this time. I was a little stuck on what to do myself, but I haven't seen this friend of mine in so many years, and I really wanted to see them.
But you knew that by leaving the house for the night, you'd be doing something horrible to your kids, right? That's why you told Sherry to not tell him anything, right?
Clayton happens to really want to make sure both the kids are looked over at all times. That's why I didn't want him knowing anything.
Well then, if you didn't want to cause any trouble, why did you not come home earlier in the night after seeing your friend for a few hours? Also, you could have easily asked myself or my husband to watch after Sherry and Avery while you're gone.
It all came up so fast, so I didn't think it'd be okay to ask you guys last minute.
It came up so fast, and that's why you should have been able to ask us for help. Also, that person you're with right now isn't some longtime friend of yours anyway, are they?
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm asking you whether or not that person is someone you're having an affair with right now or not. You were up to something that's really no good, and that's why you didn't want to ask my husband and I to look after the kids.
What the heck are you talking about right now? There is no way in hell I'd do that to Clayton. I love my husband a lot and would never.
Sherry seems to think otherwise. She knows about you being with another man. You often get picked up by him when he comes over to get you at your house, right? Well, Sherry has seen that happen quite often now. Also, she's been able to see you talking to another man on your phone. Sherry has known about this happening for a long time now, but has said nothing to Clayton because she doesn't want to hurt the family. She doesn't want to ruin the happiness that her dad and little sister still have. She knows exactly what you've been up to and what that'll mean for the family. You have been destroying the feelings of a 6th grader for the longest time now. Did you know that? Did you know that she has felt so much pain watching her own mother love another man?
You have it all wrong. I've just been picked up and dropped off by my friends. I am really not doing anything sexual with any of them.
Tia, I've had enough of this crap from you. Sherry has seen and read some of the messages you and your man send back and forth.
And I'm saying that those are all lies coming from her.
Don't you dare start calling her a liar because she knows about you cheating on Clayton. Sherry is a very smart little girl and knows what she's seen. There were even pictures at times on your phone. Pictures of a man's private parts. Anyway, to be sure that at some point in the future, if she ever needed them, she took some pictures of the messages you guys would send to one another. So there is evidence of all this.
Is that right?
Yes. So there is no use in trying to lie your way out of this, Tia.
I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, so you're finally going to confess to it all?
Greta, I'm so sorry. I just had a small urge that led me to doing something like that. So can you please refrain from telling Clayton anything about this? Please, please, please.
You're asking me to keep all this a secret from my son now as well?
Sherry has done a very good job not telling anyone so far. I don't want you wasting all the energy she's put into keeping this a secret for the sake of the family.
The only reason she kept all of this a secret was because you told her not to say anything to your husband about it. Stop trying to make this all seem like something she's okay with letting go unseen.
I promise, I really promise that I'll never do anything like this again, okay? I'm really sorry for everything. My husband is on business trips a lot of the time, and so I've been very lonely. I've made sure that this other man doesn't develop any feelings for me, so you don't have to worry about a situation like that.
You are right saying that my son is gone a lot from work, and that it is hard on you. But you're not the only one that becomes lonely during those times. My son is also lonely, and so is Sherry and Avery. You cannot start blaming something like this on one person or the other, because what Clayton is doing is bringing in money for the sake of the family by being away all the time. I'm sure my son doesn't want to be gone all the time either. You and him can find some way to fix this issue between you two, but please do not get my granddaughters wrapped up in it.
I'm sorry. I promise to never do anything like what I've done again. Can you please just forgive me for this in some way? I will never leave my daughters at home anymore while I go out.
It's too late for that now, Tia. The reason I've had to reach out to you in the middle of the night like this is because you left your kids to fend for themselves while one of them has been sick. Sherry has told me she doesn't like you anymore and wants to tell her dad that you are a bad person and are not to be trusted.
What? Then what the heck is going to happen to me? Has my husband said anything about this? I do not want for us to get a divorce now.
Sherry was right to come to me about this. It's crazy that while your kids are in the hospital right now being treated, you still have not once asked anything about them or showed any worries. Even now, you're only caring about what'll happen to you, and only you. Well, he has every right to do what he's doing, and that's thinking about divorcing you. I want you to start getting prepared for that, please.
I don't want to, Greta, please. Can you find some way to help me get out of this? I'll do anything you ask me to, so find a way to tell my husband that this was all just a lie and that Sherry and I have been in a fight. Please, I'm asking you to please help me.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for you. Also, you hurt your daughter's feelings by having that affair. To be honest, I don't want you taking care of my grandkids any longer. Not only did you cheat on my son, but you also wanted his daughters to lie to him about it. I will not allow you to watch over Sherry and Avery any longer. If I had to leave my grandkids in the hands of someone that thinks she can use them to run away from her affair, then I'd never be able to forgive myself. After that, my son was able to get a divorce from Tia, and in that divorce, he was given full custody of the kids. And after a lot of paperwork and such, he was able to get a settlement from both Tia and the man she had been sleeping with behind his back. Tia tried to go back to her parents' house after the divorce, but when they both heard about what had happened, they chose not to forgive her. She was immediately told to leave their house upon arrival, and so she was no longer allowed to be around them anymore. She then tried to go back to her secret man who she had been sleeping with for some time now, but even he would not let her come to his house anymore. And I can totally understand why, because from what I've learned, she lied to him about ever having a husband at that moment, and told him she had a babysitter at her house at all times to watch her kids so that she could leave the house. He has to pay for having an affair with Tia like he'd been doing, but at least I know that he's nothing like Tia, thinking it was okay to lie about things as she had and leave two young kids home all alone. As of right now, Tia is working a low-level job full-time and is paying child support to Clayton for both the girls. She is doing so from a small apartment outside of town and is sharing it with some other people to try and save on rent. And Tia had made some plans to go out and see her younger daughter Avery for a little bit, but Avery's older sister was not willing to see Tia. Sherry told us that she no longer wanted to be around Tia anymore, and so we all had to respect her wants. Tia finally seemed to learn just how horrible of a thing she'd been doing to her husband and kids, and has been regretting it all a whole bunch. But when it comes to Sherry, I think it will take her a bit longer to process all that's happened between her parents. And as for Avery, I'm sure she'll begin to wonder why she's no longer living with her mother anymore. After some time has passed, I'm not sure how things will go for both my granddaughters, but the sins that Tia committed that left her family in ruins will not be forgotten by anyone. If she really wants to be like their mother again, then she needs to learn that she can never do anything like that again to them, and then maybe she'll be able to call them hers again someday. As for my son and his girls, they all have to come to live inside my house with my husband and I. Normally, when my son would have to go away for business, he'd leave the kids with Tia, who would then leave them at home alone. But now, my husband and I will be home to take care of them while he's gone, and we'll both make sure to spoil the heck out of them. Sherry is happy to finally not have to take care of both her sister and herself anymore with no adults at home. And Avery is happy to finally have some new faces in her house that she can play with at any time. Although everyone seems to be really happy with the way things have turned out, Sherry is still not ready to forgive Tia for what she's done. I really do think it'll be a very long time before she is able to process what Tia had done to her and all the trauma that has caused. I'm aware that the rest of the family really cannot do anything to help her get through all this internal struggle she's having. But in order to make the process easier for her, we'll do everything in our power to let her relax and have fun here. I'll work my hardest to ensure that both my granddaughters live in an environment where they can learn things properly without having to experience any more horrors like before. And with the help of my husband and son, we are going to make both their lives here the best any child could ever hope for. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hi there! Michaela, are you there? I was just wondering why you haven't been responding to any of my messages at all. I've left you so many of them, and I feel like they're not even being read. Just how long are you going to be keeping me waiting, huh?
I'm really sorry about that, Sandra. I was just bathing the kids and putting them to bed, so I was quite busy.
Oh, really? Well, did you even read the other messages that I had sent to you? I want to know what you think. What's your answer?
You mean about bringing fireworks to the next family get-together? You said that it was going to be in celebration, right? But celebration of what exactly?
The fireworks are for the birthday celebrations, of course. We have a lot of birthdays in our family right around the meetup, and it also overlaps with the kids' summer break. So I thought this would be a great way to include some birthdays in there as well.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure I was aware that there were so many birthdays around that date.
Besides, like I said, it's for summer break. And what could be more summery than fireworks, right? I know that we can't get anything too crazy because we don't want to bother the neighbors. But I think that we had fireworks, got the grill going, let the kids play while the adults had something to drink. Oh, it would just be so fun.
So you kind of want to do a 4th of July type deal before the 4th, right? I feel like we'd need to do a lot to do all of that in time. Do you have all the supplies to make an event like that?
Oh, no, of course not. I was just thinking that you would go out and buy everything that we need. That's the whole reason why I messaged you in the first place. But I think you should be able to find everything at the outlet center downtown.
Sorry, you want me to go out and buy everything and make the preparations for this?
Yes, that's what I just said. You do that, and then we can all have a great family barbecue together. Oh, and make sure to buy things for s'mores so that we can make some of those too.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to make it to the store to get all of that in time for the family reunion. I just have a really busy schedule up until then, and I don't see how I would be able to make it.
Oh, but it has to be you. I'm going to be really busy as well, and I won't have any time at all until the evening a couple days from now.
Well, I'm telling you that I'm also really busy, and asking me to do this when it'll be the middle of the week is a lot.
I know, but you can just go out and do the shopping once you put the kids down for bed. I mean, I think those stores stay open quite late, so you could just find time to do it at night, right? You should be able to get everything that you need in just one trip, I would think.
I get that, but I get the feeling that not only am I going to be the only person buying everything, but I'll be the one cleaning up everything too. So I'm sorry, but I really don't feel like doing that if that's going to be the case. I'm just too busy with other things.
Are you kidding me? Just what is it that you're so busy with, huh? I mean, it's not like you have a job. Surely you can do this to make sure that your family has a good time, right?
Sandra, I am really sorry, but I only gave birth to the twins 6 months ago, okay? I am still physically recovering and am always feeling worn down after spending a whole day taking care of both of them. So I'm sure that you can understand, from one mom to the next, that I just won't be able to do this.
Oh, don't you try to pull the mother card with me. I don't get why you're making such a big deal over this. Surely you can't be that tired. You just have to rally your energy for one night and do a little bit of shopping. And then think of how much fun everyone will be able to have because of what you did.
I get that, but I think that people are going to have enough fun just being together. And besides, that still doesn't solve the issue of the twins.
I really don't get why you keep bringing up the twins. So you had one extra kid. It can't make things that much more difficult. But if you really can't handle what I'm asking you, then that sounds like more of a you problem. Oh, wait a second, I've got it. What if you leave the twins with your parents for the day of the barbecue? Then you can take the time to prepare everything for us.
Sandra, please. There is no way that would work at all. I mean, it's a 3-hour drive there and back from their house.
Well, that's not so bad. It sounds like you still have plenty of time to get things ready.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be driving 3 hours with 2 newborn infants just to drive 3 hours back and prepare for a party.
Well, why can't you just get Jack to give you a hand? He is your husband, after all.
I know, but Jack is always talking about how busy he is and never really does much in terms of helping me with the kids. So I've been doing everything by myself, and I know what I do and don't have time for. Surely you can understand where I'm coming from, right?
Okay, then I guess you're really leaving me with no choice. You go and buy all the stuff when you can, and on the day of the party, you can hold one of the kids while you set up, and I'll watch the other one. You shouldn't be afraid to ask family for help with these sorts of things.
Oh gee, that really is so sweet of you to offer, but I just couldn't put you out like that.
Oh, it's really nothing at all, dear. You don't have to worry about that one bit. I am more than happy to help you. Just make sure that you get everything that we need to make this part happen, okay?
Do you really want to do this barbecue that badly, Sandra? I mean, it's kind of last minute anyways, and the setup is going to be really difficult. Not to mention the fact that it looks like it's going to be pretty rainy for the rest of the week, too.
Oh no, is it? I guess I forgot to check the weather. Oh well, all that means is that you can forget about the fireworks.
Why don't we just move this to another day? Or save these plans for the 4th of July? I mean, I certainly don't want to have to do all the shopping in the rain.
It would just be such a shame to throw away these plans after I've come up with them.
I know how much you like to plan, Sandra. I'm really not trying to tear you down or anything, but I just really don't think that I can help you.
But I just really wanted to make this family reunion special. I mean, it's not often that we get everyone together like this, you know? Look, I've planned tons of events before, and I think I know what I'm doing. I appreciate your concerns, but maybe just let me handle the details and you do what I tell you to do.
Sandra, I'm really sorry, but I've already explained that I'm not about to leave my kids and do this shopping for you. I've already been really stressed out lately, and this isn't helping me at all. Please understand that I've already given you my answer, and let's leave it at that.
Michaela, I hope that you haven't forgotten about the banquet that we're going to be having today.
Banquet? What do you mean? What happened to your barbecue idea?
Well, don't you remember? We had to cancel that because of the bad weather. So we're going to move everything inside and host a huge dinner for everyone.
We? Just who do you mean when you say that?
I mean, I know that maybe I was just being a bit too hopeful with the fireworks. I should have suggested that we do this in the first place.
Sandra, wait. Slow down here. I already told you that I wouldn't really be able to help with any kind of event with my kids. You do remember that, right?
Well, of course I remember. But that was when we were just talking about the barbecue. Now that everything is indoors, this is going to be a lot easier. See? Don't say that I never think about what will work best for you too.
That's really the point that I was trying to make when I said that.
But you agree with me that something indoors is easier to plan than outdoors, right? Plus, by having a big dinner in the house, you can still keep an eye on the little ones while you help me prepare.
So then, I'm going to help you, right? Because I really don't want to be left having to do all of the work.
Well, you know how bad my knees are, don't you? So I will be sitting down for most of the night, but I'll be happy to tell you what to do to make sure that everything goes perfectly.
So you're not going to do anything to actually physically help me with the party?
Well, I just said that I was going to be giving you instructions for what to do. Isn't that enough?
All that means to me is that I'm going to be the one doing all of the work, Sandra.
But you're so much younger and full of life than I am. If I was your age, I would be more than happy to help my elderly mother-in-law with throwing a party. And with my expert instructions, I promise that everything is going to be very easy for you.
Sandra, it isn't that I don't want to help you, but I have the twins to take care of, and they are a full-time job. I just won't be able to help you. I really would appreciate it if you could just reschedule this family reunion for another time, or maybe do it at someone else's house.
Ugh, I knew I should have expected something like this from you. Here I thought you might like to step up and be part of the family, but it's always excuses with you.
I'm not making excuses. I'm letting you know my limitations of what I'm willing to help you with. But if you're not going to be actually doing anything and making me do all the heavy lifting, then I don't want to do this.
But I've already invited everyone over for this.
So then you've already set a date for this and everything. That isn't fair. You can't assume that I'm going to be free or that I'll be able to help you in the way you need for this.
Oh, please, you're just a housewife. Don't act like you don't have plenty of free time.
I do not have free time. I am literally a new mother to twins. That means I am always cooking for 3, changing 2 people at once, doubling my time for doctor's appointments. Just when did you set this banquet of yours for anyway?
It's going to be in 4 days if you must know.
So then you planned for this to happen in the middle of the week.
And just what is so wrong with that? Why are you so fixated on that?
Because I have plans then and I won't be able to help you.
And just what are your plans that are so important, huh?
Well, my sister is coming to visit my parents.
Ugh, what? The timing for that could not be worse.
Exactly. That's what I've been trying to tell you, Sandra. The least you could have done was ask me about possible dates beforehand, and then maybe we could have tried to work something out. But if you don't move this to another day, then there's no way that I'd be able to help at all.
You really must think the world revolves around you, huh? Are you really going to prioritize seeing your sister over doing this for your own family? Why don't you tell your sister to come another day? Tell her that you already agreed to help with something else and you won't be able to see her.
But I didn't agree to anything at all.
So you're telling me that you think your side of the family is more important than your husband's? I can't believe my poor son married such a selfish woman.
That isn't what I'm saying at all, and you know that. You're not being fair to me.
I don't want to hear whatever excuse you've prepared for yourself. You need to learn to shut up and do what your mother-in-law tells you to do. I have already scheduled this family banquet, and there is nothing that is going to change those plans.
Well, then I just won't be able to help you with any of that. Do you understand that?
I can't believe you're choosing to act this way with me.
I'm not acting like anything. I've made myself very clear about this whole thing.
Well then, I guess I'll have no choice but to explain to my relatives that you didn't care enough about them or me to help with dinner. I'm sure they would all just love you after that, don't you think? If you want things to go well with my relatives, you'll do as I say or else.
I don't see why you can't just invite them over and we all order pizza or something. It doesn't have to be some big, elaborate banquet.
There you go again, just treating my family like they don't matter, or that they're not worth putting any effort into please. If this is really how you're going to be, then maybe I need to talk to my son about getting a divorce with you. I don't think he realizes just how useless his wife really is. Michaela, what is the meaning of this? Why isn't anything ready for the banquet at all?
Is it already time for people to be coming over?
What kind of response is that? Of course it is! I told you that this was happening and that there was nothing you could do to change it, remember? Don't act like you didn't know my relatives were coming.
I actually don't think anyone is coming, so you have nothing to worry about. I'm certainly not going to go anyways, so please don't bother me about this.
What do you mean nobody is coming? What are you talking about?
I mean that none of your relatives said they were going to come. There is going to be no banquet, get it?
I still don't understand what you mean.
I mean that I told them not to come.
What do you mean? You did this? You're the reason nobody is going to come to our important family reunion?
Sorry, I should have made myself more clear. I only told them not to come because every single person I invited said that they really didn't want to go. They all thought that doing something like this in the middle of the week was just going to be a big chore.
That isn't true. Everyone should have been really excited for this.
Who would be excited about some big dinner party with drinks in the middle of the week? People have jobs and school, and they don't have time for something like what you wanted.
Don't you dare speak for my family as if you know them better than I do. I have been planning events like this since you were in diapers. I know what my family likes.
Actually, it's a good thing you did ask me to invite everyone in your place. They all told me that they hated going to your events, but you just never stopped asking until they agreed to go. I guess they were all more comfortable telling me no. And anyways, that's why not a single person said they were going to be there for the party.
You're lying to me. I know that you are.
Well, you're more than welcome to wait and see for yourself, but I'm not going to be there.
You must have just told everyone that it was canceled, and that's why no one is going to show up. I'm sure if I called people and told them that it was still happening, that everyone would come running.
Okay, then go ahead and try that.
How could you do this to me? I was really looking forward to this.
Well, it sounds to me like you were the only person in your family who was. that you were still going to make me do all the work for an event that no one would have wanted to go be at anyways.
Shut up! How are you to talk to your mother-in-law like that? Just who do you think you are, huh?
I think that I'm someone who has been very reasonable and patient with you while you have been nothing of the sort to me. Anyways, I have things I need to do. Goodbye.
This is all your fault, you little brat!
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this family gathering that I heard was going on without my knowing!
Oh, that. Right. Yeah, I'm going to that. Although since I'm breastfeeding, I won't be drinking, of course.
But I don't get it. Why wasn't I invited? I mean, I was the one who planned to have a family gathering in the first place.
Because this isn't one of your huge elaborate parties, Sandra. This is just a small gathering for whomever can make it on the weekend. You always go way over the top and it's intimidating to your family who have to deal with it when they'd rather just be able to relax.
But that's not fair! What's wrong with wanting to do something big for my family like I always do?
I already explained this to you. You can't just plan these big dinners or barbecues or drinking parties in the middle of the week. I don't know if you've realized this, but your family aren't the kinds of people to do day drinking or go to work hungover. They don't do big, elaborate parties. They want a quiet, small gathering where they can relax and feel like they can talk freely.
And you're saying that I don't do that for my family. Is that really why nobody showed up last week?
That's what I was trying to explain to you! Yes!
But this isn't fair. Now there's some family event and I'm the only one not invited? I thought my family loved me more than that.
It's not that they don't love you, but it's that you tend to go overboard with the drinking at these things and it really puts people off.
Shut up! How dare you try and tell me how I make my family feel? You don't know what you're talking about.
Don't blame me because you don't know your family as well as you thought, okay? You're the one who keeps making these big plans without asking about anyone's schedules or anything like that at all. If anything, you've proven that you don't know what your family wants.
Don't talk to me like that. I am your mother-in-law.
That doesn't mean that you can treat me however you'd like, you know?
But I just wanted to see my family.
And it's not that they don't want to see you either, but they want to see you at an event that works for their schedule and where they don't have to worry about you drinking too much.
Do they really all feel that way about me?
I think it would help if you didn't try and plan these things once a month. I mean, do you have any idea how hard it is for everyone to coordinate a day that they can see each other once a month? Besides, most family reunions happen once or twice a year. You just don't need to be doing so much, Sandra. I get that you have a lot of free time, but most of your family isn't retired like you.
So you think that I do what I do because I'm bored? Is that what you think of me?
I'm just passing along what I've heard from your family, that's all. If you want to talk about this anymore, why don't you take it up with them? I have to go and take care of my twins now. After that, Sandra finally seemed to settle down a bit. She called her relatives and they confessed how they really felt about her events. After that, she started planning much smaller gatherings and much less frequently. It was only once a year or so that we started having our family reunions. And when we did, people showed up early to help set up and stayed afterwards to help with the cleaning. Sandra even started limiting herself to 3 drinks at the events and stuck to it very strictly. It seemed like all of her family was grateful to see that, and her mood even began to improve. Now Sandra and I get along much better, and so do the rest of her family too. Her and I still have a long way to go in terms of our relationship with each other, but I'm glad that this didn't end up a total disaster for everyone involved. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.